termites and pests.
It is week 3 of the Willis Report Cash Challenge, and we've been following 2 couples on their quest to live on cash alone with no credit cards, none, no plastic. We'll hear live from our first Cash Challenge participant moments from now, but let's take a look at a video update of our second couple, Dan and Delane Seal. They started just last week. Listen to this.
Well, it's 1 week into the Cash Challenge, and I have my checkbook in hand here. A couple of interesting things happened this week. 1 day into the challenge, I had a tooth break and had to go to the dentist. So I did find out that by paying with cash, I saved 5% on my bill. The other thing I did find out, though, was with taxes. I tried to file electronically for state taxes this year, and they require a credit card to pay that fee. So I am doing all my taxes by hand, sending them in by mail, certified mail.
So this is the way I track our spending. I use an Excel spreadsheet and track all of our different categories. And then when we get our cash, we put them in envelopes. And then I take the envelopes for whatever gas money I need or groceries, and I put it in here, and this goes in my purse. So I don't spend money on something I shouldn't. So tonight, Natalie and I are going to a play at our school. We could have purchased tickets online, but that would have required a credit card. So we have our cash.
But everything else seems to be going pretty well. I've been paying cash this whole week, and it's been going smoothly.
Great stuff. Who would have thought you could save money at the dentist by using cash? Well, Dan and Delane, as you saw, they're doing a great job. Keep up the good work, and we'll continue to update you on their progress as the weeks go on. Now, though, I want to bring back our first Cash Challenge participant, Stephen Swiatek. His lovely wife, Caitlin, is out of town on business, but you decided to come in and talk to us. So how's it going? Week number 2.
It's going quite awesome, I would have to say. Week 2, it feels like we're really hitting our groove. Week 1 wasn't really that hard, but week 2, we're just really flowing through it and enjoying the whole cash aspect of it. So
are you getting any discounts? Are you saving any money?
We have found just one place here in town. I did a little research online and found out that one gas station, Safeway, here in Colorado Springs, offers a discount for cash, and so we decided to head over there one night when our fuel tank was getting on empty there, and we found out that we were saving 14 cents a gallon when we paid with cash, so that was pretty exciting for us.
That's great news. That's great news. Now, Caitlin's not here tonight, but she did send a video, so we get to show that. Here's Caitlin.
Hey Fox, it's Caitlin. I have been noticing something on this cash challenge that I wanted to share with you, and that is that my gas tank is never full. It's driving me crazy. It's so hard to gauge with cash how much gas you need, and it's not one of those things that I'm going to sit and really calculate. I'd rather do other things with my time. So I'm just kind of winging it and paying cash when I can and getting gas in the tank. But man, this never full stuff, kind of halfway empty the whole time, never filled up. It just feels like you go through your tank so much faster.
Wow, I can relate to that. I always want the full tank. I understand what she's talking about. That would be tough. But you got to tell me, how's this going for your marriage? I mean, because money is one of those things that couples fight about.
It's going quite well. It's brought the communication factor to the forefront, and we've really knuckled down and just decided to really talk about the challenge and what it means and what it's going to take to really get through this challenge. And we're doing quite well, and I would say I love it. And I would say my wife would say the same thing. And I think we're just to the next level in that communication, our finances, and no really arguments, or it's just been very peaceful. And I think just staying on top of where we are and just being out in the open with our cash like we have to be has been really good for us.
You told our producer, and I thought this was really telling, that when you have credit cards, it's easier to hide information because nobody sees the bill until the end of the month, right? But when it's cash, you have to be really clear about what's going on, or else you run out of it, right, Stephen?
Absolutely. With the cash, we decided that for the week ahead, we would just think about how much cash we're going to need for certain items. I know there can be those that come up unexpectedly, but kind of gas and groceries, and just kind of plan that ahead and go get the cash beforehand so that we have it, and it works out quite well doing it that way.
Stephen, thanks for coming on. Please tell Caitlin we missed her, but we know she'll be back.
You got it. Thank you, Jerry.
And now I want to introduce you to a brand spanking new Cash Challenge participant. He tweeted us saying this, look at this, great news, I'm doing the All Cash Challenge and love it. Thanks for the suggestion, love your show. Joining me now from Washington, D.C. is Chris Lynch. Chris, welcome to the show. Look at you, you're awesome.
Jerry, hi, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Normally I'm watching you at this time, so it's so cool to be here, sitting here in D.C. watching, being on the show with you. So thanks for having me.
Well, it's great to have you on the show. Now, you're already cash challenged, so you're
Yes.
already in the middle of this. What's it like?
You know what? It's been interesting. So before I would use a lot of debit and credit for different situations, but when all of that, all of the security breaches took place, I started thinking, maybe it's time to go back to cash like I did when I was in high school and college and in my early part of my career back in the 80s and 90s. And then when you really issued the challenge, that's what kind of motivated me to do that. So I started a little bit in March, and then I really got serious about it in April. And it's really been well. It's been a fun adjustment because, cash is king, and it's great to have it, and it keeps you responsible.
Well, you say it keeps you responsible, but I mean, sometimes, you need more of it. Have you run into any challenges so far? Is there anything, just the details of managing this day to day?
Yes. Sometimes if you underestimate the amount of money that you should keep with you, you may have to go to the ATM and get more out. So that means if you're not near the one that, like an ATM where, like my bank is, I have to go to another ATM and I might incur some fees that way. Or sometimes people that have been using a lot of cash, they've run out of change to give back. So there's one time I remember where I gave a guy, I'm like, dude, I'm trying to help you out. And he's like, well, I'm out of change. So I'm like, okay, well, here's my debit. So I felt like I was cheating on you a little bit. Sorry.
Well, it's interesting because, I've been playing along too. And what you find is the people running the cash registers look at you like, what do you mean cash? We don't know about cash.
Oh yeah, but it's also fun to make jokes because I went up to someone and I said, "You take cash, right?" And she looked at me kind of funny, and I'm like, "Okay."
It's still legal tender here in the U.S. of A., I think.
Absolutely.
So tell me what your goals are, because you seem pretty committed to this, and you must have something
Yes.
in your mind's eye that you're going for.
Yeah, I'm actually taking a vacation this summer to Las Vegas, so I really want to, take cash and save towards that, but also I want to get into the habit of spending only, what I've budgeted. So when you use cash, once you're out, you're out. So I'm really forcing myself to do that with expenses. And also, I have like what I call a feel-good fund that if I come under budget, I can either save that money, whether it's $2, $3, $5, $10, whatever dollars, and put that towards something like, buying. I love electronics, so I'm totally into buying toys. But that's something that keeps me motivated, but it also keeps me responsible. I love the discipline of that because, again, using cash, once you're out, you're out. So
you have an interesting personal story because, as I understand it, you've written a book on diabetes, and it's for you, it's all about having control of yourself and your life and your resources. It all kind of fits together, and we're showing your book right now.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Tell me your ultimate sort of personal goal here with all of these things.
My goal with all of this is discipline. One of the things I love about your show and Fox and what you do is you teach a lot of good habits, and this is a really good discipline that allows you to budget yourself in a different way, but use a different vehicle. So when, cash really forces me to stay on target. And that way I can stay honest with what I'm trying to spend each day and also what I'm trying to accomplish as far as a goal. So I would say my goals would be is to have a good retirement down the road, find ways of taking some of the extra money that I have and maybe diversify that into some investments in that type of situation. But the goal of it is to really be safer so that when these breaches come in, I'm prepared for them. Whereas before I kind of reacted to it. So now having cash as a backup, it's kind of a way of life. Kind of like I talk in my book about the pillars of peace, love, joy, and happiness. I want to add peace, love, joy, happiness, and financial responsibility.
Financial responsibility. I hear you.
Absolutely.
It really appeals to me, that idea of having control over yourself, your resources, what you own, what you owe. Makes a lot of sense. Chris, thanks for coming on. And you're going to come back, right? We're going to have you back to talk more about this. Okay.
I'll be back.
Thank you so much.
Have a good day. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Chris. And do you want to take our cash challenge? We're looking for more people who want to share their experiences going all cash. Go to jerrywillis.com. You can send me an email there, or you can tweet me at JerryWillisFBN. If you haven't noticed, I'm a big tweeter. So pony up. We want to hear from you. And coming up, how the EPA is messing with our fragile housing market, and GM CEO Mary Barra making her first